Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh and hello. My name is Rais Haikal bin Rosli from SR 113 Sports Study course. Okay, this video is about my first group assignment of the kinesiology subject. Okay, my group member are Nazir, Mikael, Haris and Amirul. Okay, in this assignment, we divide each other by one topic. Okay, I will do the introduction of the cardiovascular system, and Amiro will describe about the structure anatomy of the cardiovascular system. Haris will describe about the function of cardiovascular system, and Nazir will describe about blood flow in the cardiovascular system, and Mikael, the last person, will describe about the abnormal condition of heart. Okay, firstly, I will talk a little bit about the cardiovascular system. Okay, cardiovascular system, also called as the circulatory system. Cardio is referred to present of the heart, which is the major pump for the body. Okay, vascular is the refer to the vessel is that contain the blood. Okay, cardiovascular system is transportation system of the body. The major structure that make this possible are the heart, blood vessel, and the blood. Simply put, the heart pump the blood in order to move nutrient throughout the blood vessel to nourish and remove the metabolic waste from the body. Okay, that's all for introduction to cardiovascular system.
Okay, Assalamualaikum and to Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to all my fellow friends and my beloved lecturer. Okay, today I would like to talk about our topic cardiovascular system. So I would like to talk about my part, which is the structure and anatomy of cardiovascular system. Okay, the cardiovascular system can be thought as transport system of the body. Okay, the system has three main components, which is heart, blood vessel and blood itself. The heart is the system pump and blood vessel are like the delivery routes. Blood which looks like fluid contains oxygen and nutrients that the body needs and carries waste products such as urine, sweat, which carbon dioxide which need to be removed from the body. Okay, the following data and information explains structure and the function of the heart and the cardiovascular system. Okay, so this one is the flow, which the flow that the oxygen and nutrient to body, and the flow that carries waste product that need to be removed from the body, that I will be present after this. Okay, so the cycle begins, which is the lung. The lungs flow the blood to the right atrium and then pump to the right ventricle, and then which carries waste product to the pulmonary artery and pulmonary vein. Okay, and the blood which contain oxygen and nutrients from the left atrium will pump to the flow to the left ventricle and then pumps out to the aorta. Okay, and then there's a which we call it as carotid arteries. Okay, carotid arteries which the pumps out blood to the head, neck and the arms. Okay, so structure and function of the heart. The heart's job is to pump blood to the body, and the heart is roughly cone shaped and thick. The wall is of heart is made up of special type muscle called cardiac muscle. Okay. The chambers of the heart. The heart has two sides, right and left side. The heart has 4 chambers. The 2 top chambers known as left and right atria. The atria receive blood from different sources. Okay, the left atrium receive blood from lung and the right atrium receive blood from the rest of the body. Okay, the bottom chambers known as the left and the right ventricle. The ventricle pumps out blood to different part of body. The right ventricle pumps blood to the lung, while the left ventricle pumps out blood to the rest of the body. Okay, the ventricle have much thicker walls than the atria, which allow them to perform more work by pumping out blood to whole body. Okay, the blood vessel. The blood vessel is a tube which carry blood. Veins are blood vessel which carry blood from the body back to the heart. Arteries are blood vessel which carry blood from heart to the body. Okay, capillaries connect arteries and vein together. Aorta is the largest artery in our body. Okay, the left ventricle pumps blood into the aorta, which then carries it into the rest of body through small arteries. Pulmonary trunk is large arteries which takes blood to lung. Okay, pulmonary vein take blood from lung to left atrium. Okay, valve is like gates which prevent blood from flow to the wrong direction. Okay, valve between ventricle and arteries known as semilunar valve. Okay, aorta valve found at aorta and pulmonary valve found at base of pulmonary trunk. Okay, so as a conclusion, okay, the cardiac cycle begins and can't stop. Okay, so because if the cycle stops, then the body in lack of oxygen and nutrient and unable to carries out their waste product. Okay, so the cardiac cycle as a conclusion, the cardiac cycle flows when the lung drains out the blood to the atria. Okay, the left and the right atrium. Okay, so the left and right atrium will contract at the same time and push blood into the left and right ventricle, follow each flow. Okay, so when the next phase there's atrioventricular valve that prevent the blood from the ventricle back to the atrium. Okay, so when the ventricular, at the ventricle, the semilunar valve are open so that the phase can be proceed to allow the blood to flow into the next to the final part, which is the aorta. Pump into the aorta to the body and pump the waste product out to the pulmonary trunk. Okay, so then following the phase, the semilunar valve back to close to stop the blood from flowing back into the ventricle from the aorta and the pulmonary trunk. Okay, so at the ventricle also, the phase continuous same at the atrium, which is what we call the contract at the same time. Okay, so this cycle keeps going, so that bodies can perform well and get oxygen and nutrient as well, and can be excrete the waste product, so through sweat. Okay, so flow to the aorta, which is carries out waste products such as our urine, sweat, and carbon dioxide. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
Hello guys, my name is Haris Zikri. Today I want to talk about function of cardiovascular systems. Cardiovascular systems function have three functions. One is transportation, two is protection, three is regulation. Transportation is about transport oxygen. As you can see, this is blood vessel, this is oxygen, and this is red blood cell. As you can see, it transport oxygen, and also get rid of carbon dioxide. It is also transport nutrition from digestive system and transport hormone from endocrine system to cells in our body. That's why cardiovascular system is also known as transportation systems. Protection is about immune cell. There is one cell in cardiovascular system named immune cell. Its function is to protect our body from any impacts. For example of immune system is like it's antibodies. When you go, for example, when you go to your vaccine, when you go to clinic, you inject yourself. When you inject yourself, that immune your body from viruses, from any disease. And the last one is regulation. Regulation is all about homeostasis. Okay? Homeostasis is the ability to maintain a relatively stable internal state that persists despite changes in the world outside. It is including temperature, pH, electrolyte, and water. For example, when you get shivering cold in the cold, or sweat in the summer, you hot when you play a sport. Or alright, that's all from me. about cardiovascular systems function. Assalamualaikum.
First, the oxygenated blood from the whole body enters the right atrium through vena cava. Oxygenated blood from the lungs enters the left atrium through the pulmonary veins. When blood fills the atrium pumps the blood through the bicuspid valve and tricuspid valve into both ventricles. When the ventricle shrinks, the cecal valves open and blood is pumped out into the pulmonary arteries and aorta. The oxygenated blood is pumped through the pulmonary arteries to the lungs. Meanwhile, oxygenated blood is pumped through the aorta to the whole body.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Ahmad Mikael bin Abdul Wahab and I'm gonna talk about two abnormal conditions of heart. The first abnormal condition of heart that I'm gonna talk about is coronary artery diseases. Coronary artery diseases happen because of accumulation of fatty substances called cholesterol. The primary risk factor of coronary artery disease is high blood pressure, high cholesterol level, smoking, and lack of exercises. Secondary risk factor of coronary artery diseases include stress, obesity, and diabetes. Other factor included family history. If your family before had this disease, so you have higher chances of getting this disease. Next is male. If you are male, there's a higher chances of you getting coronary artery diseases. And next other factor is age. If you're older person, there's a higher chance of you getting the diseases. To prevent from getting coronary artery diseases, you must exercise, because exercise helps in prevention by controlling the factor of coronary artery diseases. Simple general physical activities can be done to help you control the risk factor. For example, for general physical activities you can do for sedentary people at home is gardening at your garden and cleaning your houses. When cardiac patients, major limitation for coronary artery diseases patient is chest pain and limitation of breath. When they have limitation of breath and chest pain, it's prevent them from doing physical activities. So when doing exercise for coronary artery diseases patient, when doing exercises, we must do it slowly and gradually to control the risk factor. When coronary disease patient engage in physical activities, the angina threshold increases and allowed to do more physical activities and live a normal life. The heart cannot make the same adaptation as before because the flow of the blood to the heart is blocked. The blockage is most often a build-up of fat, cholesterol, and other substances which form a plaque that block the arteries, and since the artery is blocked, the blood cannot flow through the heart. The less damage from the heart attack, the better chance of improving the heart muscle through exercise and prevent any heart attack in the future. Risk
Tak ingat.
The risk factor of heart attack is mostly the gender is male, and smoking, high blood cholesterol, high blood pressure, and lack of exercises.
In conclusion, the heart and blood vessels form an intricate network throughout the human body. The anatomy of the four-chambered heart is central to the network and function to maintain blood moving throughout the body. Arteries, capillaries, and veins work in conjunction to keep all tissues healthy by providing oxygen and other nutrients while removing carbon dioxide and other waste through continuous blood flow. As the body encounters infection, the immune system response is triggered and the appropriate blood components initiate a response to remove the undesirable items. In case of injuries to the circulatory system, other systems in the body can be affected. So demonstrating the importance of how the body requires the interaction of all the systems to maintain proper function. That would be all. Thank you.